Welcome to another review here at Big Gold Belt Media. It's your boy Damon G over there with Killer Cam on the other side of me, Cam's Collections. We just got done watching the first 3 episodes of Echo, scheduled to be dropped on January 10th. All 5 episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. Marvel's Echo, basically spawning off of Hawkeye. And now we have this series that some people may not have had high hopes for, but this review is going to be non-spoiler. And we're going to basically tell you whether or not it's going to be worth your time because we just got done watching the first 3 episodes. So I'll start off by saying this. In a word, is it worth your time? Yes. Cam, what would you say?
Yes, 100%. Definitely.
There were so many things in this show. I went in with no expectations. That's the first thing.
Same.
Because a lot of people were saying, oh, they're releasing it like it's Netflix, so they might not have a lot invested. But within the first 10 seconds of the first episode, you have been taken to some place you didn't think the show would go automatically, and we're in for a ride. If you're into history, family, culture, representation with a mix of heart, action, and drama, this is the show for you. That's the easiest way I can say that. And like I said, this is non-spoiler. Great performances around from the cast. If you're really eagle-eyed, you can see a couple of character actors that have been doing bit parts, movies for years that popped up out of nowhere. Who is it? Uncle Henry apparently was in Twilight, which I didn't know that until like 10 minutes ago. So high points, and then I'll get to you, Cam. High points for me. Performances. The script, because it had so much inclusiveness to the culture, to the I don't even want to give it. I don't even want to say what it meant to me as a person of color. I'm not indigenous by any stretch of the imagination,
Right.
but just as a person of color, seeing the representation, and seeing the style and the set and the history. I didn't know lacrosse was started way back when in 1200, because we learn about lacrosse or a version of lacrosse.
Yeah.
So I thought that was one of the highlights, to go with the performances. What did you think?
Yeah, same. I thought it was a beautiful depiction of not only a historical story, but giving us more of an insight into the life of the main characters and the characters that supported her all around. I feel like Alakwa Cox is an amazing actress. And I feel like through the struggles and the things that have happened in her life, coincidentally, she really was meant for this role. Honestly, I think it's just crazy at the adaptation of her becoming into this character, because I did a little research on her and I kind of checked out her profile on Instagram to see like what she was about. And she smiles so much. She seems so sweet, right? And in this show, it is 360. Like there's not one smile on that face. And I'm like, and it surprised me when I looked at her profile, because I'm like, who's this? Like, is this the same character that I just, finished watching for 3 episodes? And she really makes it really believable that she is Maya Lopez. She is Echo. I think the depiction of the indigenous people and the backgrounds that they shared with us, I think is amazing. And I'm excited to see where it goes. It gave us, honestly, a history lesson that a lot of people probably don't know about. And there's more to come. So I'm excited.
Yeah, myself included. I was treated to a wonderful history lesson. Seeing it's in Oklahoma. Like they're filming this town in Oklahoma, right. And Choctaw Casino, because I live in Dallas. So for me, Choctaw Casino is just a tourist attraction. But when you learn about the Choctaw people throughout the show in the first 3 episodes, it's really engrossing, because it talks about, like we said, cultural heritage, and also with Echo's character, she's fighting against, as you see, an internal battle, like most protagonists would do, an internal battle, family over everything kind of thing. And even the supporting characters are just as an integral part of this show. It's not just, okay, Echo, if you watch back, spoilers for Hawkeye, if you haven't seen it yet, Hawkeye, but she shot Wilson Fisk in the eye, just like in the comics. Like my man Kingman lost an eyeball. And it's the after effects. I believe it's 5 months after the events of Hawkeye.
Yeah, 5 months after. Yep.
and we're treated to this like the what if or the what after, and to see how she goes, like you said, to this on camera, this tough, no smiles,
Yeah.
stoic, been through so much trauma, and to see like these other people in her life who show her love and her life before she became basically Fisk's bodyguard or hit
Yeah.
person. It was quite the story, and it's not so much. And somebody told me about this, during the comic run, that what they're doing for the Marvel show itself, it's just trying to play up the human aspect of the character. And I said, no, 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 no. What's good about this is the human aspect of the character,
Yeah.
because she's not a mindless assassin cyborg, like, let's say, DC Comics, like a Mercy Graves kind of thing, where she's Luthor's right hand and that's it. Like, there's no depth to her. But you learn so in these 3 episodes, we learned so much about the Lopez family, the Lopez family traditions, how they're so close knit. Sorry for the microphone. So close knit, where you're just, wow, this is what family is, to borrow a term from Dominic Toretto. And it doesn't beat you over the head. It's educational, and I love that. I love just getting to know this family, and there's a lot to take from this family, because I've been through some of the stuff that the character went through. Being the only person to go to the big city or go do things when everybody else stayed home, like fish out of water coming back home. Some may call this a Hallmark movie where like the fish out of water comes back home, but it's a testimony to just how family can really shape you, and the decisions family makes can determine which direction your life goes. And we're privy to that in the first 20 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, easily. And I definitely, just like you said, how family shapes you. It feels like when things get crazy and things hit the fan, that seems like that's where Maya turns to.
Yep.
She turns back to her family, because obviously I think they made some references in there. It's not the first time she's returned back home, and there's always been mayhem when that happens. But regardless of how, I guess you could say, cold she might seem on the outside, she really does care, because these are the people that shaped her at the end of the day.
Right. And for those who are expecting the Marvel over the topness, and since, like, again, we're not spoiling anything, but what would you say to those people that are expecting Marvel schlock?
If you're expecting this to be any way similar to watching Endgame, this is not going to be that. This is its own story in its own right, and I think it's a great origin story for this character, and what is to be later on in the future of Marvel. It's a lot darker, a lot more gritty. I would say a little bit more grotesque. This is the first, I think, Marvel show currently, or the MCU show that's got an MA rated. So, I mean, you gotta hide the kids, but it is a little bit more intense than any other Marvel show we've seen at this point, though.
I would say, honestly, to that point, I would say that it's the closest thing to a Netflix Marvel show that we've gotten in the MCU.
Yep.
The tight spacing in the filming, the fight scenes, which I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it reminded me of watching a good Netflix Marvel show.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, honestly, just watching it made me miss the Netflix version, to be honest with you. I am currently going back and I'm watching Daredevil season 1 through 3, because I'm like, wow, this was really good. Like, this is good cinema right here. And people were kind of, trying to downplay it, because of course it got kind of redundant going towards the 3rd season. But I think it was great having Charlie Cox in there, and Vincent D'Onofrio as well. So he kills it as Kingpin and Wilson Fisk always. So I wonder how that guy gets out of that character, because he's so into it. I'll be honest with you, it's crazy.
Yeah, and we're not spoiling anything by saying that, but we've seen the trailers, everybody. There's going to be Wilson Fisk. There's going to be a Daredevil somewhere in this story. And here's the thing. That might be the draw that brings you in. Like, oh, when are we going to see, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio? But to your point, Alaqua Cox, like, she's the star. And I don't mean just because she's the headliner. She's Echo. Echo is her. We talk about Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, right? Who is it? Steve Rogers is Chris Evans.
Yep.
Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther and vice versa. She's Echo. Like there is
Yeah.
no other actress you could have got to play this role. And if you recall, this is her first role in
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
So
I tried to look for more stuff from her and I was like, oh, this is it. Like she's starting off with this. I was like,
mhm.
wow, this is really a good work. Like she's doing such a great job.
And there's so much told in the communication in the show. And when I say communication, there's a reason I'm using it. Uh, if you don't use ASL, you might want to put your your subtitles on
Yeah,
because you might miss some dialogue
for sure.
that is really important to the show and to elicit the emotion. I love this narrative storytelling. I love the
Yeah.
fact that we're using a different angle to tell a story. Goes back to what I said before about
Mhm.
inclusion, just being a part of something that's not your norm and learning something. And
Yeah.
and while I was watching it, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is going to be a group of people, and I'm going to say it, that are going to say this is the W word,
Oh
woke,
my gosh.
and it's
Yeah.
like oh no, this is way too much. I need my hair. Calm the fudge down. All right, calm
Yeah.
down. All right?
Yeah.
Then this ain't for you. You know what
No.
this is for? People who want to see a hero in a different light, a street level hero who we don't even know if she's a hero. She may
Right.
be an anti-hero, and we like anti-heroes.
We do. We do. I like them. I feel like honestly, just the expressiveness of ASL communication made these
Yes,
scenes in here a lot more intense because it wasn't like they were only just talking, but it was like hand motions, expressing as well. So I just felt the importance of each scene a little bit more than I would a regular, verbal conversation though as well, which I thought really shined in the show.
I agree with you. There was so much emotion just given just with sign language and emphasis, with the way that some people did the hand motions or slammed their hands into their palms together to do a sign.
Yeah.
You can sense the level of emotion that was going on there, and
Right.
it's so nuanced, and I love nuance, and I know some people just don't like it. They don't want to think when they're watching a hero show,
Right.
but then that's not for you. This whole point of this review is for us to let you know whether or not this is worth your time, and it's worth mine. I can't wait to finish it.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
excited.
in. I'm in on the character. I'm in on the storyline. There's some good fight scenes. You're gonna like the fight
For
scenes.
sure. Definitely.
Very
Definitely.
akin to the Netflix, Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones style of fight scenes, the Defenders, things of like that nature. And if you like that stuff, you're going to enjoy it. So think of it as a Netflix show with nuance, but it's under Kevin Feige's watch. I think that's the easiest way for me to say that.
Let's go say it.
Um,
Yeah.
what performances stood out to you before we get out of here?
Um, honestly, there honestly were a couple. Chasky Spencer, who
Mm-hmm.
plays Uncle
Uncle
Henry.
Henry. Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm I'm not sure if any of the actors, other than Alakwa Cots, actually had experience with ASL or sign language,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't tell. To be honest with you, like if this was their first time ever signing, I would have never known because, like I said, just between the dialect as well as the expression that they were showing on their faces, it seemed like I thought I was like watching a story through a looking glass, or like I'm like a fly on the wall. Like this is
Right.
something real that's really happening in front of me. No one wrote this out. This wasn't a script. This was, a real life drama that was happening in front of me. So
Mhm.
I think he did such a great performance. Shout out to him being Sam on Twilight as well. But yeah, great performance by him.
Aside from Alako Cox, I have a personal favorite. I told you off air, Biscuits.
Yeah, he said, yeah, biscuits.
that
He did a great job.
he was my guy in those first three episodes. When we talk about loyalty, like that character, Cousin Biscuits is just so full of loyalty, and that goes to show again family. And I believe what
Yeah,
was his name, like Cody Lightning is
Cody
Biscuits.
Lightning.
Just
Yep.
man, I felt a part of this family, and I haven't felt that way and for a few shows in a long time. A show that brings you in to be part of the family that isn't Fast and the Furious. But those two performances, along with Tantu Cardinal as basically the grandma who runs stuff, like
Yeah, Yeah.
You know, Chula, like she ran stuff. Like you could tell, like nobody messes with her. They don't want to upset her. She's the HBIC, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with
Yeah.
you, grandma. Like I see you.
It was like and even the job that she worked, it was like she
Mm-hmm.
was around everywhere in town.
Boss.
So like
Mm-hmm.
there was no way for any secrets to get past grandma, you know? And she really killed this role, honestly. In the first couple scenes, I could really feel the emotion
Mm-hmm.
when serious situations happen that
Mm-hmm.
everyone will see when they watch the show. But she did a great performance, and I'm so excited to see these next two episodes or these last two episodes.
Me too. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Graham Greene, who's a longtime character actor. He basically plays grandma's husband, or you know, during the show, and grandpa, and just when him talking to, let's say, the colonizers. There's a scene where he's talking to colonizers. I laughed so hard because
Yeah, it was
I
super
know that
funny.
hustle, and I
Yeah,
loved it. I love that. Oh, it's so funny. But he's been such a great character actor for over 20 years. And it was good to see him in a role where I'm like, oh, I know exactly who he is. I know the kind
yeah.
of roles he
Oh yeah,
does.
instantly.
Oh, so great overall. So if I had to give it a number, you know, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for me. Like if it's worth your time, if you're into, like I said, family, tight fight scenes, good story, and a little bit of suspense too. The modicum of suspense in the first 3 episodes that you don't know. There's some things that still need to be put together in a puzzle. So I give it an 8 out of 10. What say you?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, just
Okay.
because I think I just don't know what's gonna happen in these next two episodes, and my hopes are so high from
Yeah.
these first three. It's like, oh man, I know they're not gonna let me down. I know they're gonna do something amazing, and hopefully, this will trickle into season two. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers and toes crossed. And she and basically Alquist has said like she didn't realize that this would be a continuous thing, and now it is. And
I mean,
good.
it started as just a supporting role, and
Mhm.
then it turned into her own show. So hopefully this will just blossom for her and just keep being able to reprise this character over and over. It'd be great, I think.
Right. And I'm not one to throw myself at the altar of Feige, but he has made C levels into A plus
There's been
characters.
several. There's been several
So
of
I mean, who
those.
would have thought the Guardians of the Galaxy would have been something we would have liked,
That's true. That's true.
or even
That's true.
Ant Man, So
Yeah.
you'll be surprised if anyone's going into this thinking, "Oh, Marvel doesn't care." No, this is actually a pretty decent show. Like I said, 8 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 for Cam. Let us know in the comments down below here at Big Gold Belt Media. Again, biggoldbeltmedia.com. Cam, where can people find you?
Yeah, everybody can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Cam's Collection.
Yep. Find me at Damon G Show across the board. That covers Twitter, Instagram, and the like, twitch.tv/Damon G Show as well for the retro cartoon rewatch. But yes, Echo, 8 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 for Cam. Here at Big Gold Belt Media, comment, like, follow all that stuff down below, and let us know what you think. And we're looking forward to the last 2 episodes of Echo. Be safe and be well.